Satanam. So welcome. I'm so excited you're here with me. I really want to explain what Satanam means. I know that I say it at the beginning of almost every video, and I want you to know it's such a wonderful word. Truth is your name. And what is your name? Your identity. So if you really want to connect more with the truth of your identity, stay with me, right? I'm inviting you because I'll tell you what I'm going to share with you today. Even if you do nothing more, you will get some wonderful tools that will transform your life. And that's really what I'm about, is I'm about giving you things that give you the capacity to transform, to up-level, to really get to know more. So see if this is for you. If you're a woman or a man who loves women, or you're a coach or a therapist or a yoga teacher and you want to teach empowered workshops, or anybody who works with women or couples. Why? Because what I'm going to talk to you about the moon centers is one of the most empowering, sacred sciences that I know. It's the science of a woman's inner emotions and how to get to that empowered center and claim the gifts of each one. It's your roadmap. It's a treasure map. It's really about, do you want your emotions to work for you, or do you want to work for your emotions? That being said, I want you to know that this will not solve all your problems unless you use the tools that are encoded in this program. This will give you really incredible tools and a treasure map to this ancient science. So if you want to know more about this, then please stay with me. So what are the moon centers? They're an ancient, secret, and yes, sacred science. I want to say that a dear friend of mine who's a recognized spiritual teacher, he said, "Oh, I wouldn't touch them because they're so radical and they're so sexy." And they are, they're really sexy. But I see them as so much more than that. They are really the empowerment centers. They're the portals, the energy portals of, okay, this is going to sound a little woo-woo, but where the moon kisses you, because women are different than men. You're ruled by the moon, and it changes every 2.5 days, all right? I want you to know that this will help you to make sense of your feelings and to know how to be able to utilize them. No, it's not a cop-out like I'm PMSing, but it really is a wonderful way to work with them. So I want to share Carl's story with you. He's one of my students, and he works with, he's a lawyer, and he works with women who have lost their children because of their addictions. And what he's trying to do is get them back to an empowered state of their life so that they can get their children back. And he was so excited about the moon centers because it allowed him to see and give them tools of how each day for women is different. It's different, right? I have to say that once you understand these moon centers and you're like, okay, tell us about them, I will. And your feelings and your emotions, your emotions will make so much more sense to you. No, this isn't way to get out of the liability for your actions. It's not like PMS, right? I'm PMSing. It will just help you to go, oh my God, now I understand why I feel like that. Yes? The beauty of this, really the beauty of this, is that it is a science. And once you get to know it, it will make you feel like, oh my God, I can't even believe I didn't know this. How did we not learn this as children? You know, how do we not do it? So now you get to share it with your children, right? This roadmap, this treasure map. So let me back up just a moment here and share with you how I found out about this, okay? My teacher, we had a camp called Women's Camp, and he talked about this amazing thing for like 20 minutes one day, and then that was it. I never heard about it again. And for some reason, I was reading back through the notes years later, and I was like, this is really amazing. And when I asked him about it, what did he tell me? You should write a book about this. you should be teaching this. And so that's how this all got born, all right? Now, I'm going to tell you what the moon centers are, okay? You deserve to know about them before I can tell you anything more. I want to tell you it will change your life if you really get into this. And I want to tell you what's in it for you. The treasure map, it's actually a map of what these moon centers are. Then you get to work with them to find out what your map looks like. But what foods will energize you different days? And it's not the same. What are your energy robbers? And how you can avoid them or substitute much more empowering things for those energy robbers. Breathing exercises that will power you up to tackle new projects and give you a lot more mental clarity. Ways that you can divert and convert yourself when you're using your moon centers in a less than powerful way, when you hit the challenged aspect, right? Which are the best days to invite in love and intimacy, right? It's just, there's so many things, quick ways to regain your clarity and your balance in the moment. You can track your own unique pattern and look to the future to see, oh, wow, next week would be the perfect time to clean out my garage or organize my desk or organize my team at work. Women who know this virtually eliminate the frustration of feeling that they're at the mercy of your whims, right? If this sounds really good to you, then stay with me. So I really want to tell you how this program came about. I told you that I learned this from Yogi Bhajan, right? He pushed me to write the book. Then he pushed me to teach people. Then he pushed me to create this program. Yes, he was a pusher. He was an inspiration, but also a great pusher. He pushed us out of our comfort zones, way out of our comfort zones. So you're getting to learn from all the pushing that he did with me, all of the wonderful gifts that you can claim. And there's nothing like teaching something to get you to master it. There's a saying that if you want to learn something, read it. If you want to know something, write it. But if you want to master something, teach it. And I'll tell you, this is so true. Every time I teach this, I learn something new. Not only do I get to watch, anywhere from 40 to 100, 200, 300, 400 people get so excited about this, but I learn something new. And you will too when you're teaching this. All right, so I want to go over, what are these moon centers? Tell us what the moon centers are, okay? I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to say to you, this is probably not the pattern that yours are going to move in, but when you get this, you will be supported in so many ways, including calls with me, to understand what your specific pattern is. So, first one. And like I said, they're sexy, okay? Your hairline. Your hairline is like, what do we do with our hairline? It's like we show it off or we hide it, right? Your hairline is about your visions. When you're in the positive, when you're in the challenge state, it's about paranoia. Because what happens to women when you're not connected to your intuition, your visions? You feel very paranoid. You're checking everything out. You feel lost. And in the neutral, which is the beautiful place, you're able to deliver, to act in those visions, to share them. Okay, next is your moon centers. We're going through these kind of quickly today. Your moon center, eyebrows, right? Amazing things. Oh, so much we can talk about here, but we won't today. Just say the eyebrows. Healing dreams in the positive. In the challenged, fantasies. Take me out anywhere. Let me not live here, right? In the neutral, it's what can you do with those healing dreams? Do they come about somebody else? Can you deliver that to them without attachment to what they do with it? Next, beautiful cheekbones. Cheeks, we try to make our cheeks sexy and beautiful and alive and radiant. And your cheeks are all about, in the positive, PR. You are a PR machine. You can promote anything. In the challenge, you are a flirt. Okay, what does that mean? Not that you can just turn it on and be fun and connective, But when we're flirting, we're asking someone else to tell us our worth, right? And what happens when you're in the neutral? You have the capacity to help others, to uplift others. Okay, lips. Beautiful lips. When you're in the positive, talkative, 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 talkative. Men, this is where you can just have your women go off and be with their friends because they will drive you crazy. All right. The challenge state is absolutely everything you say. You either feel like you can't say anything or everything you say is like sharp, nasty. Ever been there? Right? Okay. And the neutral is whatever you say, you have the capacity to uplift others, to go into them and uplift them. All right. Earlobes. Earlobes. In the positive, it's like you want to look at the values. What values are driving your life right now? Are you living to your values? In the challenged, you feel like really self-deprecating, like I'm not doing what I should be doing. Yes? In the neutral, you are understanding that you are living to your values. There's no discrepancy between who you are and what you stand for. Nape of the neck, that place that when you get kissed there, you're like, yes, right? You're very influenced by people's voice. It says like very influenced by the romantic voice. So very influenced, right? By the sound. That's the positive. The challenged, you're feeling like you can't communicate at all. And in the positive, you feel like you know how to really commune with others. Nipples. I told you we're getting sexier as we go, right? Your nipples are all about, even in the positive, you become overgiving. You can't stop yourself. You're just, somebody says volunteer, you're like your hands up in the air. In the challenged aspect, you feel like you have nothing to give, burnt out, right? In the neutral, you feel very compassionate. Not empathetic, sympathetic, but compassionate. All right, next is your navel. Your navel is so wonderful and fun and empowering. It's strength, it's power, right? You're very energized, you're very on. It's a time to really get into exercising and moving your beautiful self, moving whatever needs to be moved. Yes? In the challenged, it's like you don't want to move at all. You want to become a couch potato. You feel like you can't do anything. And in the neutral, you have the power to show up. And you know that that's the most beautiful thing. Be present. Inner thighs, sexy inner thighs, right? Your inner thighs are where you have the capacity to be so organized in the positive. In the challenged, disorganized. In the neutral, you have the capacity to help others. Right? Then we get into the clitoris. Okay. And people are going like, okay, I'm waking up for this one, right? I'll tell you a very funny story about that too. The clitoris is where you feel incredibly social. You want to connect with others. In the positive. In the challenged, you feel like you only want to be around people that you feel safe with, your clan. And in the neutral, you feel like you have the capacity to hold others. It's a great time for, to put on events that you're in charge of, to have dinners. You feel the capacity to encompass and be in that leadership position. Membranes of your vagina. I love this one. This is your radar, okay? Your membranes of your vagina are, in the positive, it's like you know what you should be attracting and what you should be allowing in. In the challenged, you feel like a nothing. All right, why? When you let something past the membranes of your vagina that shouldn't be there, what do you feel like? And the neutral is one of the most beautiful. Whatever comes and goes, you're fine. You're good. Okay. So that is just like a mini, tiny, tiny version of these beautiful things. And there's so much more. This is like tip of the iceberg. But I want you to understand some of the gifts that I know that I've gotten from this. An amazing increase in my intuition, really being able to understand where other people are at. Tools to readjust my emotional states really quickly. And a great map to see where I get challenged and where I'm really at ease. It opened me to seeing and being able to claim my gifts much more easily. And experience the power of not being ruled or a slave to my emotions. That was totally fabulous. So I want you to know that I was one of the first, probably 50 of Yogi Bhajan's students, and I spent a lot of time with him. And over the past 10 years, I have taught this course to so many thousands of people. I've taught the moon centers all over the world, literally. Europe, South America, Mexico, Canada, India, and all over the US. I want to tell you a really funny story about when I was teaching at Satnam Fest. It was really interesting because there were so few people when I started, and people just kept pouring in and pouring in and pouring in. And this man did not hear at the beginning that this was women's 11 moon centers. Men do not have these moon centers, but they get to know them about women. Oh my God, the power tools you will get. Men, you like power tools? This is the thing. So we got to the clitoris, and he's like, I don't have one of those. It was so great. We got such a great laugh. And I said, no, but you're a really smart man to be here and to learn these tools, because you will have such a better toolkit for dealing with all of the women in your life. You know, this is not just for your wife or your partner or your lover, but your children and the people you work with, right? I've gotten so many thank you letters and so many testimonials. You can see some of them, just a few on my site, of how many people's lives have been changed by understanding this science. And I can't tell you again, men, you want a good toolkit? Really, this is for you. So I just want to share one testimonial with you right now. One of my dear students, her name is Jody Baker. She is a magnificent woman. She is a magnificent mother, wife, creative artist, entrepreneur, and she has a testimony on the site, but she kept sharing over and over and over again. She said, oh my God, I feel so much more nourished in my life, and I'm so much kinder with myself, and therefore, so many other people. She's now incorporating this in all the classes that she teaches, and she's starting to get workshops together. So would you love to know more about these moon centers, this treasure map? I'm going to keep sharing this with you, and I'll have more in my next video. I just want to share a couple of objections that I've heard of people who have said, oh, I so want to do this certification course with you, but. I love the buts, right? So the main buts I always hear are, I don't have the money and I don't have the time, right? Those are the two big buts. So I want to tell you that we've eliminated the money thing first, okay? We have a payment plan, 3-month payment plan, and if you stay tuned, I'm offering this program for 5 days only at a super discounted rate. So just stay with me, all right? And if you want even a bigger discount, join my Facebook group, Moon Center Secrets, and I promise you the discount is less than half, okay? That's how much I'm invested in you succeeding with this, right? Plus, you'll make your money back when you teach this as a workshop or when you use this in your counseling, because nobody else is using this. People will refer you as they start learning this. They're like, this is so amazing. This person's sharing this. Oh my God, you have to know this, right? So this is another objection I've heard. I do better in person. Guess what? You get 2 private calls with me during this, right? That I can help you. I can listen to things you're having a challenge with and help you. I have got to say, people have given me such good input on this with these calls, I'm like, wow, I can make that more clear. This is really great. Thank you. And I've done that. So you'll see that in your program. You've been able to profit from other people's calls. And I'm offering the first 20 people who say yes to this an extra call. The third objection is, I love learning, but I'm not sure I have the time. I cannot solve your time situation, but I will say, do you know how much time gets sucked up with Facebook and all these other time wasters that we do? And also when your emotions are out of control, what happens? The cleanup time is extensive. Or maybe you don't have any problems with out of control emotions because you push yours down and you stay so busy you don't feel. But you'd love to feel more connected. You'd love to feel, yes, more happy and clear. I can promise you, you will have that experience as long as you use the tools, right? Plus, learning something new is always so beneficial to your brain, right? It keeps you young. I just want to say that I will deal with a whole lot more objections in the next video. And I want to invite you to make comments, feel free to share this video with other people, but make comments, give me, objections, anything that you want. I will promise you that I'm going to try to answer every comment, every remark, and if I don't get to it, I'll do something in the next video, all right? So there's really cool stuff coming up in the next video. Thank you for being here with me. Please feel free to share this with your friends. Thank you. Bless you. Sat Nam.